Okay, students. We have already discussed about the guidelines of systematic review of literature. So today we will learn first one, the Boolean operator, so that we can find out our research question. Is it visible? No, no. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the Boolean operator. Please you write down or you can take the picture. This is vital for searching the data. Here you can find out the AND. It provides results that contain both or all keywords, music and peace. If you write down, then you will get only the abstracts related to music and peace. Another one is the OR, music or song. Not or and not. Please you maintain this capital, okay, not the small letter. For example, football, not soccer. Quotation marks. It provides results with the exact phrase. For example, Newtonian mechanics. So you can use this quotation marks. Parentheses. Here you can find out rural or urban. Okay, and sociology. Asterisks. Here you can find out develop star. Then you will get all the keywords, that is the development, developer, and developing. Okay, so in this way, you can search your data or related abstract or paper. This is clear? Any question?
Sir, can you explain about the last two ones, sir? Parenthesis and asterisk.
Parenthesis allows you to group together keywords and control the order in which the terms will be searched. Okay, so here you will find the keywords rural, urban, and sociology. So it is written rural or urban and sociology. And it is in the parentheses. Rural or urban is in the parentheses. And the asterisks, for example, you are writing army star. Okay, then you may get several variables which is related to the RP. Okay. For example, it is written develop star. And you will find that this is the prefix. Development, developer, developing, etc. So these are the Boolean operator. And
So
you have
asterisk means we will put that star symbol, sir.
yeah. In the search engine, you can write down this star. Then you will get, for example, you are writing child, then star. So child means children, child means childhood. Okay. So you will get many things if you use the star command. Now it is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I am coming to the structure of systematic literature review. Okay, Shumana, please read.
Yes, sir. The structure of a systematic literature review typically follows a well-organized format to ensure clarity and coherence. While specific requirements may vary based on your discipline or the guidelines of a particular journal, the following is a common structure for a systematic literature review. First one is the title. Clearly and succinctly conveys the main focus of the review.
One sec,
Abstract
one sec,
provides a brief.
one sec, Shumana. Okay, slowly,
Okay.
huh? One sec, slowly. Okay, and you always keep in mind that systematic review of literature is the top research methodology, okay, for publication in the journal. Specifically, the journal deals with evidence-based research, like medical journal. Okay, so keep in mind that is, it should be the free from all sorts of bias, all sorts of subjective biasness. Therefore, systematic review of literature is the top quality, and the base quality, that is the basic, is the case study. Okay. So when you do the research that is based upon only the case study, so that is the baseline. But top quality is the systematic review of literature. Why? Because it follows the evidence-based research. It follows the model of Prisma. I will go later on. And this is the title. When you write the title of your manuscript, please mention that is, it is based upon the systematic review of literature. Why? Because systematic review of literature is different from other reviews. Therefore, please you write down that is, it is based upon the systematic review of literature. And if you follow the meta-analysis, that is also part and parcel of the systematic review of literature. Please you mention that is, it is based upon the meta-analysis. Okay. So in the title, you must be very much careful.
Sir, repeat please, sir.
In case of writing the title of your paper, if you follow the systematic review of literature style, then in your title, you must write down systematic review of literature. Or if you follow the meta-analysis, then in your title of the paper, you have to write down it is based upon the meta-analysis. It is clear now?
Yeah, the different articles also it is mentioned. Systematic literature review on this particular topic. They give that, which already you have sent, sir, earlier in the before first session.
Yeah. I have sent one paper in the
Right.
group.
It is mentioned very much clearly.
So this is the most important part, because the examiner of your manuscript will review your paper in different way. Okay, Shubhana, next is abstract.
Sir, in title, how can we mention the systematic review or the meta-analysis, sir? Title means only the heading, no, sir?
In your title of the manuscript, you have to mention that is, you have followed the systematic review of literature or meta-analysis. This is vital, because systematic review of literature is different from the other reviews. Okay.
Okay.
And it is the top quality.
Anthony G is asking in his PhD perspective how he can write the systematic.
Sir, title means what I understood,
Very
sir.
true.
The title of my research topics are like mental health and barriers in help-seeking behavior of military personnel. That is what I understand.
Very true.
Anthony
G. Yeah, it is very true. But systematic literature review literature, it's a one method to review the entire literature related to particular subject. When you are doing your PhD, then your topic will be only that. When you are doing the analysis part, so analysis is as per your the hypothesis and all that will go on. Here this is a one system to analyze the different researches, which is called systematic review literature. So this is the different one.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now next one is the abstract. Shumana, please read.
Next one is abstract. It provides a brief summary of the review, including the research question, methods, key findings, and implications. Follows the guidelines for structured abstracts if applicable.
Yeah. Okay. Now stop. So, in case of the systematic review of literature, research question is very, very important. So, in the abstract, you have to write down that is, this is my research question. And I have studied these journals. Okay. And you have to write down the journal name also. And how many journals and how and their years also. You have to mention everything. But this is not in other type of manuscript. But in case of the systematic review of literature based upon the manuscript, you have to follow this guideline.
Right. So one thing I want to ask, when we talk about SRL, systematic review literature, when we have taken different kind of studies, suppose 10 studies I have taken. So in a Excel sheet or in any other sheet, we have to divide it to make the columns for abstract and other things. Like 10 abstracts I have taken from the 10 studies. And the research question would be the different. But what I make my own research questions, I have to find out those abstracts, right?
Yeah, that is true. Because
Right.
All the
And
abstracts will follow your research question.
right. And accordingly, I will make such things like method, key findings, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I mean, right. We'll see that. Sir. I mean, the
Sir,
tense are
sir,
there.
excuse me, sir.
Research question, your research question is important.
Okay.
Sir, if we write our research question in the abstract, sir, many a times na they ask to write 200 or 250 words in the abstract, sir. So if we write our research question, that itself will come in 100 words, no, sir?
So, sorry, I'm not getting. What are you telling?
Sir, in abstracts, there are many things, sir, like summary of the review, research question, methods, key findings, and implications and all. If we write the research questions, that itself will take 100 words like that, sir.
Now, usually we write down the aim of the study or objective of the study. But in
Okay.
case of the systematic review of literature, you have to write down your research question,
Okay,
not
sir.
the
Okay.
objective of the study or aim of the study.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
In the
my
systematic
research
review
question.
only, we write
Yeah.
this one, sir, research question.
Yeah, so that is the structure.
Sir, what I could understand that Antony ji is asking the question in the perspective of his own PhD.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that is limited topic. That is limited one. But so far as Antony ji, I am again saying that SRL, systematic review literature, is analysis of different study on your research questions. That is not only one study.
Right,
Okay.
sir. Right,
For example, Antony,
sir.
your study is related to the mental health issues. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I have already written several domains of the mental health issues in the group.
Right.
Sir.
You have seen it.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So your approach will be related to that one. Okay. It will not be related to the systematic review of literature.
Sir.
But you have to follow this principle.
Sir.
If you think that is there are several empirical studies are available, then you can think about it. But if the empirical studies are not available, then it is not important for you.
Sir.
Then you will develop your own study, own methodology, own thing. It is basically based upon the medical issue. Okay.
Sir.
Keep in mind.
Sir.
Shumana, next is the introduction, please. Yes, sir. Introduction. This section introduces the research topic and its significance. It clearly states the research question or objective of the review, explains the rationale for conducting a systematic review. It may include background information and the context.
Correct. So this is in the introduction. Next is the methodology.
Next is methodology. It includes search strategy. It describes the database, journals, and other sources searched. It provides details of the search terms, keywords, and any limitations. Inclusion and exclusion criteria clearly defines the criteria used to include or exclude the studies. It specifies study design, participants, interventions, comparisons, outcomes, and other relevant factors. PICOs or PICO framework.
So what is important here, you have followed, that is, you have searched specific type of keywords, and that you have to mention. Another thing, that is how many journals and what are the journals and the period of the journals. You have to mention all of them. Okay. In your method chapter.
Right. Sir, here my one question is
Yes.
that how we can say that a particular, I mean, the studies on my research question,
Mm.
it's available on what journals? One that suppose we are, I mean, searching the abstract and all, and suppose I got 25 only, and that might be 50, might be 70. So rest of the studies, how I can get?
Yeah, that is true. For that reason, initially you can present the trend analysis. Okay, I will teach it later on.
Okay, okay,
You
sir.
have to show the trend analysis.
Right, right, sir.
After that, you will select.
Right. Okay.
Okay, next one is the study selection, please.
Study selection details the process of screening titles, abstracts, and full text articles. It includes information on inter-rater reliability if multiple reviewers are involved.
Yeah, this is also very important because if you find that is there are many studies and you have to select some of the study, then you can assess the inter-rater reliability if multiple reviewers are involved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which study you will select, that also depends upon the reviewers. Therefore, systematic review of literature, this is very much time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next one
So I
is
have one. So I have one question. What
sure.
is inter-rater reliability?
That means suppose you have received 50 studies, and out of that you want to select minimum 10 studies. Okay, so you administer this to the experts. That is, I have received these 50 studies and this is my research question. I want to select only the 10 studies. So please you rank them. Okay. And after that, you will find maybe there are 5 raters are there. So they are making the rank and based or rating. It may be the rank or it may be the rating. Suppose the rating is from 1 to 10. Okay. And you have noted that is the studies which are more than 5 or more than 7. Then you can select only those studies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
But in case of our clinical reliability, we used to take if the reliability is lies in between like 0.8 and above, then we take it as a reliable one. But in case of systematic review, what is the cutoff mark?
No.
It is always better more than 70%.
More than 20%. Okay, sir.
And sir, here we have to select that intra-rater reliability,
Inter-rater reliability,
not intra.
not intra. It is inter.
Okay, okay.
That is 2 raters or more than 2 raters.
Between
Okay.
2 raters.
Right.
Yeah, between raters or more than 2 raters. Next is the
Next is data extraction. It describes the data extraction process and the variables collected. Explains how data were extracted from the included studies.
yeah, this is very, very important because whatever your findings, that is based upon only the data extraction. So you have to justify that is why you have selected these data. Okay, you have to justify. Everything is based upon your research question.
But how we will justify? We have to justify according to our research question, right?
According to your research question.
Right. No any other criteria. Huh?
No, it is based upon your research question is the most important part.
Oh, okay.
After that, you can think about the interdata reliability or whatever the quality you have received from the different study. Maybe there are some studies you have noted, they have done research more than 1,000 data. So definitely you can think that it is more than 1,000 data, so large number of studies I have selected. So in this way, you can justify.
Right. So
that
in
is
data
why
extraction,
you have selected.
right. So in data extraction, the justification, other than justification, what would be?
This data extraction, that means number one is your research question.
Right.
Second part is that you are getting large number of sample size.
Right. Right.
Okay. Because if the data is collected only from the 10 people, that you may not accept.
Right.
Okay. Another part is very important, whether the study follows experimental design or not.
Okay.
If it follows experimental design, then less number of sample size may be accepted, provided it follows the experimental design, very strong experimental design, not the quasi-experimental design. It should follow the true experimental design.
Okay. Right. Comparison relationship and all.
Yeah.
And
so
qualitative,
you have controlled. For example, the block design you have followed, or the factorial design you have followed. So that is better. We have to justify. If study is not available, then you can think about the quasi-experimental design, because your study is related to the pre-post study. Therefore, you have collected data only from the quasi-experimental design.
Right. And we cannot include that qualitative also, only experimental.
Yeah, only the experimental, empirical based.
Right, empirical based. Any other criteria other than these?
No, that is the mainly size of sample and the correlation coefficient also.
Right.
What is the correlation? If the correlation is 0.5, then you may not accept it. But if it is the correlation is 0.8, definitely you can consider.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Next. Shumana, next.
Next is quality assessment. It outlines the criteria and the tools used for assessing the quality of included studies. It presents the results of the quality assessment.
You have to mention this paragraph about this quality assessment. You have to mention there.
How we can find out?
I have already told that is what are the criteria for the quality assessment. That is interdata reliability. I have mentioned all those things.
Okay.
So all those things will be there.
Right. The same. Okay.
Next one.
Next is data synthesis. It summarizes the characteristics of included studies.
Yeah. So it is clear.
It describes the methods for data synthesis, that is qualitative synthesis, meta-analysis, or both. Presents the main findings and key patterns observed.
Next.
Next is results. Provides a detailed presentation of the results organized by themes or categories. may include tables, figures, or other visual aids to enhance clarity.
Yeah, so this is very, very important, this result section. In this result section, you have to justify, that is, to what extent the studies are related with each other and the effect size of your study. Effect size is vital because in empirical research, specifically in experimental study, you are always thinking about the effect of independent variable on the dependent variable. And the effect size is very important in case of this result presentation. And another important part is the confidence interval. I have mentioned you.
Yes. But effect size only we can take in intervention studies.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And other than intervention studies?
Other than intervention study, if we want to, maybe in case of the predictive model, we can think about.
Okay.
Maybe the meta regression, there you can find out effect study. Okay, next one.
Next is the discussion. It interprets and discusses the implications of the findings, compares and contrasts results across the studies, addresses limitation of the review, offers insight into gaps in the literature and areas for future research.
Okay, so this is vital. That is the comparison and contrast. That means if there is any heterogeneity in the study, you have to carefully mention that heterogeneity is noted in particular subgroup. Okay. This part is very important.
Sir, one question.
Sure.
While writing this discussion section, we need to refer the other studies. So this writing this discussion section, can we refer the same studies that has been undertaken for the review?
Yeah,
or the
definitely.
other studies?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sir.
You can mention.
Okay.
Next is
conclusion. It summarizes the main findings and their implications, reiterates the significance of the review in the broader context, may offer recommendation for practice, policy, or further research.
Yeah. Next is the reference.
It lists all the sources cited in the review using a consistent citation style. Example, APA style, MLA style, or Chicago style. Next.
Appendices.
Next is the appendices. It includes any supplementary materials such as the full search strategy, data extraction forms, or additional details of the review process. Adhering to a well-structured format and following established reporting standards, that is Prisma guidelines, enhances the transparency and reproducibility of your systematic literature review. Always check the specific requirements of the journal or guidelines you are submitting to ensure your review meet those criteria.
Okay, so I have presented you the guidelines, but again, you have to follow the journal, specific journal in which you want to submit your manuscript. Okay, there are guidelines you have to follow.
And sir, what it is mentioned, data extraction form and all?
Data extraction form, that is possible. If you have any particular software, then you can submit that one.
Is there any particular softwares available?
Yes, software available.
So, sir, can we get the name of those things? I think
Yeah,
so.
I will tell you.
Okay, okay, sir.
But you have to understand the statistical part particularly.
Right, right, sir. Definitely, like
Because
SPS.
those software follows several statistical models.
Right. And I think so that would be very expensive also if we will purchase, no?
Not necessary.
Okay.
It depends upon what type of software you are searching.
Constorum, there was a one software which I had gone through. My one study has come through that. So
many things are there. Even
right.
The available software, that is SPSS, you can use.
For
programming.
systematic.
Yeah, R programming you can use.
Okay, okay.
Simple Excel you can use.
Okay.
Provided you know the formula.
Yes.
That is the main thing. Okay, Shumana has. Shumana, please. Prisma.
Yes, sir. Prisma, this is the preferred reporting items for systematic review and meta-analysis.
This is almost similar to the guidelines, but still, again, I am presenting you because it follows the Prisma structured model. Therefore, I am presenting again. Something may be similar, but something you will get new also here. So, Shumana, please title.
Title, it clearly states that the document is a systematic review or meta-analysis.
Okay, so this is, I have already told you, that is in your title, you have to mention, that is you have followed systematic review or meta-analysis. You have to mention.
Next, abstract.
But it is not for Anthony. Why not for Anthony? Because Anthony will collect the data, primary data he will collect, and based upon that, Anthony will present the results. Okay, so that is not based upon the systematic review or meta-analysis. Okay, Anthony, it is clear to you now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you are collecting the primary data, na? And your results will be based upon your primary data. But here, there are some studies and the authors, they are giving importance on this meta-analysis or systematic review. So they are not collecting the primary data.
Right. In other words, we can say when Anthony ji will complete his PhD, his data analysis and everything could be considered for meta-analysis or systematic
in
review.
near future by some other authors.
Right, right.
So secondary data will be used in these all studies, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Sir, one question, sir, please, sir. What is this primary data, sir?
Primary data, that means you have developed some questionnaire, and based upon that questionnaire, you have collected the data, or you are doing some experimental design, and following this experimental design, you are collecting the data. So that is your primary data.
When you are collecting the data directly from the samples or respondents, that is primary data.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next is
abstract. It summarizes the main objectives, methods, results, and conclusions of the review. Next is rational. It describes the background and objectives of the review, highlighting the need for the study. Next is objectives. It clearly outlines the specific research questions or objectives addressed in the review. Next is eligibility criteria. It specifies the criteria used to include or exclude studies. That is, study design, participants, interventions, outcomes. Next is information sources. It describes
the databases. Okay, it describes the databases and other sources searched to identify relevant studies.
Sorry, sir. Identify relevant studies.
So please change the slide. Yes.
Next is search strategy. It provides details on the search strategy, including search items, data range, and any filters applied.
This is vital. Okay. That is whatever I have presented to you, this Boolean operator.
Right.
So they are basically your search strategy. You have to mention, that is, I have followed these operators for searching, so that your examiner can easily understand, that is, if you follow this Boolean operator, then what is the probability for searching the keywords or for searching the specific abstracts. Okay.
Next is study selection. It outlines the process of study selection, including how duplicates were handled and how eligibility criteria were applied.
Because there is a high possibility for the duplication of the study. So you must be very careful.
So in that way, only suppose 2 studies are there, so we have to select only one.
Yeah. If it is
according to the
if it is duplicate.
Right. Okay.
Next is data collection process. It describes the methods used for the data extraction from included studies. Next is data items. It specifies the variables and the data points extracted from each study. Next is risk of bias in individual studies. It assesses the methodological quality of individual studies and how bias was considered.
Next
is summary measures. It describes the summary measures, example, effect size, used in the meta-analysis. Next is synthesis of results. It explains how the result of individual studies were synthesized, including statistical methods. Next is risk of bias across studies. It discusses potential bias that may affect the overall result of the review.
So here 2 things are important. One is the synthesis of results. How we can synthesize?
Based upon the meta-analysis.
Okay. Sir, what is the difference between SRL and meta-analysis?
No. In the SRL, meta-analysis is the part.
Okay, it's a one part of that. Okay.
It is the part. If you do not follow the meta-analysis, it will not be accepted as the SRL.
Okay. Right. And biasness, how we can, overcome?
Biasness, that is by the statistical tools.
Okay. What particular biasness could be possible in such conditions?
Biasness, maybe the sample size, maybe the biasness.
Okay.
Or the specific type of participants, maybe biasness.
Right. Okay. Entire, methodology part.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
For that reason, we are giving importance on the confidence interval.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. Yes. Yes. Right. sir.
Next, Shumana.
Next is additional analysis. It describes any additional analysis conducted, such as subgroup analysis or sensitivity analysis.
Hmm.
Result: it presents the main findings of the review, including any tables or figures.
Hmm.
Next is discussion. It interprets the results, discusses limitations, and provides implication for practice and future research. Conclusion: it summarizes the main findings and their implications.
So here
Hmm.
my one question is for results. So for a table and these figures are concerned,
Yeah,
suppose
yeah.
that studies I have selected and 20 kind of tables, figures, how we can interpret, how we can put into our analysis.
Sir, I have presented one paper in the group
Okay,
on
okay,
this, and there you can find out how they have presented the tables
okay.
and the figures.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, everything is there.
Okay, okay. Right,
Sir,
sir.
Okay, next.
Next is
sir,
funding.
sir,
Huh?
one question.
Yes.
Sensitive, what is sir sensitive analysis?
Sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis, it actually reflects the emotional condition of the participants. So this is a different type of analysis, but this is not the empirical studies. Okay. This is not the empirical studies. For example, you have noted maybe some stress factor on some dependent variable, and based upon your results, everything, and after that, you have collected some qualitative data, okay, and then you have observed the similar type of things, what you have observed through your empirical studies, that is your meta-analysis, etc. Sensitivity analysis is different. For example, sensitivity analysis is done for the Facebook, for Twitter, etc. They are doing the sensitivity analysis. That is, which type of variable is affecting maximum type of people. So this is different thing. But in the Prisma guideline, it is mentioned. Possibly they are thinking that is the mixed method may be more applicable. For that reason, maybe they are thinking to improve the Prisma model, only the quality, only the quantitative they have followed. But again, it can be validated through the sensitivity analysis. Next is the funding.
Next is funding. It discloses sources of funding for the review. Next is registration. It includes information about the registration of the systematic review, if applicable.
So what's the mean of it?
Which one?
Registration?
Registration to CTRI or like this. If there is any clinical trial or experimental
Okay,
study
okay. Yes, yes, yes. Right,
that has to be registered.
right, right. I think so that could be in the medical model only.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mainly it is
Okay.
made for the medical model.
Right, right.
Okay, next.
Next is
Adhering.
adhering to the Prisma guidelines. ensures transparency and facilitates the critical appraisal and interpretation of systematic reviews and meta-analysis. Researchers should consult the official Prisma statement and checklist for detailed guidelines on each item.
Okay. Now last time I have told you that is you can prepare one checklist. So
Yes.
whatever the points I have mentioned here, so that will be used for your checklist. And after writing your manuscript, you can present the checklist to your peers.
Okay.
Only for the review, whether you have followed all the guidelines or not.
Okay. Right.
Sir, this Prisma model now, it could be used for only the medical perspective, sir.
Yeah, this is particularly for the systematic literature review. We are following the Prisma model.
Okay, sir. In my case, it cannot be used, sir. What I feel.
No. In your case, you are not following the Prisma model, but whatever the suggestions they are mentioned, please you follow as much as possible.
Right,
so
sir.
that
Right, sir.
Your literature review will be accepted.
Sir.
Whatever the literature review you will do, it should be accepted by the expert.
Sir.
So if you follow this systematic literature review model,
Sir.
then there is a high possibility to accept your results.
Sir.
Okay.
Right, sir.
Right.
And please you follow this Boolean operator that
Yes,
I have
sir. Yes, sir.
told you. Okay. Achha. Another thing, this research question, I have told you that is research question. Research question you have presented several research questions. I have seen it, and keep it maintain the hypothetical model. Okay. In the hypothetical model, there will be independent variable, there will be dependent variable, there will be the moderator variable. And what are the intervening variables you have controlled in your study? You have to mention all of them. Then it will be easy for you to do the research. So hypothetical model is vital. When you write your PhD thesis, then after writing the objectives, then you have to write down the hypothetical model. So that will be the graphical representation of your total research. Okay.
Right, sir.
Any question?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so it is clear. Thank you. Thank you, Shumana. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
For your participation. Anthony, thank you. Babita,
Thank you, sir.
Madhuri,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anushka, Bashra, Kavita.
Thank you, Sona
Thank you,
madam.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Debjani, thank
Good
you.
night.
Farah,
Good night, sir.
good night.
Good night, sir.